I am feeling balanced. And today we're talking about the art of sacrifice in order to get to where we need to be in life, to where we truly want to be able to really excel. All of the time, we have to sacrifice something. Doesn't always look like what we think it's going to. And so today I want to focus on the art of sacrifice. I want to talk about what is it that we have to give up and what is it that we're willing to give up to be able to live the life of our dreams. Now, I'm going to do a bit of a blend of things. I'm going to talk about the things that I've already given up to be able to get to where I am, and the things that I know I'm going to need to sacrifice in order to get to where I want to be. Hello, beautiful queen. Hello. Yes, so sacrifice. It's such a loaded word. It's something that has a lot of really deep etymology. It's a word that a lot of the time we think of biblical reference, and that's a whole other conversation. But as an artist, I feel like it's important to acknowledge the root of the word. Regardless, though, we must be able to sacrifice things that no longer serve us in order to get to where we truly want to be. I love this quote that is the meaning of the mantra that I've got playing, which states, infatuated with emotional attachment, we think it's a very long journey toward enlightenment, toward being one with oneself, toward living in the moment. Says Nanak, it is here now, available to all of us. It's not really a long journey. It just requires us to let go of the blockages to be able to embody the light. It's a really interesting visual if you think about it like that. Anything that is not the light is in the way. The light is the way. The way is the light. Anything that is not the light is in the way. Right? So what that means is once we remove the blockages, all there is light. The blockage is what creates the shadow from a very literal perspective. And so what we sacrifice are our blockages. So I'm going to write sacrifice, and then I'm going to write have to. And then I'm going to write willing to. And it's pretty simple. It's a reflective exercise that I'm just going to talk about the things that I had to / have to sacrifice and the things that I'm willing to sacrifice. So, things I have to sacrifice. Self-doubt. Okay, that's huge. We have to be able to believe in ourselves. Hello, it is a very deep topic. I'm glad that you resonate with it. That's right. Beautiful. And ask yourself, and write in the comment, what's something that you had to sacrifice or you're trying to sacrifice? So I have to sacrifice self-doubt. What else do I have to sacrifice to be able to get to where I want to be? Negative influences. We have to let go of the people in our lives who are holding us back. Sometimes it hurts. It's going to hurt sometimes to sacrifice things. It's not always a bad kind of hurt, though. It's a pain release. I have to sacrifice the blockages, whatever that means to you. And you know what it means. If you're on an enlightened path or awakening journey, you know what it is that's blocking you. We have to let it go. What else do I have to sacrifice? Oh, you know what I had to sacrifice? Job security. Job security. In order to be able to successfully run my creative agency, it got to a point where I had to sacrifice a 9-to-5 job. I had to let go of that. I let it go before anyone really, would have probably said I was ready, or before it was practical. And I'm doing okay. I'm doing better than I ever have been. That's something that was a sacrifice that was hard to make, but it was one that I needed. And I did, and it's been great. Like, it's worth it. At least it was worth it for me. I'm not giving any advice to do anything rash or irresponsible, but it does take brazen. We have to let go. I had to sacrifice my insecurity. I had to sacrifice scarcity mindset. These are things I had to sacrifice. Like, I had to let go of all of these things. And I continue to learn how to let go. I'm not saying I'm at a point where I'm like the pinnacle of my whole life. That's definitely not the case. I'm just beginning, which is so beautiful, to be able to acknowledge that this is just the very beginning. Let's see. I had to sacrifice sometimes friendships. But I think that goes under negative influences, because I only would sacrifice a friendship that wasn't giving me energy. I had to let go. I had to sacrifice of things that drained my energy. So I had to sacrifice energy suckers or energy drainers. I had to sacrifice the need to please everybody all the time. I had to sacrifice people pleasing. And I've found that the more I embody what it is I need in my life, the more I actually please people. Who would have thought? Can't please everyone all the time, though. And that's right, energy vamps. They're real. People either give you energy or they drain it. There really are two kinds of people in the world. I don't know if I like that statement, really, but you get what I mean. There is an energetic exchange that happens when people exist with one another, and sometimes the people we are around are draining our energy. Are you willing to sacrifice? If so, for the sake of what? I love that phrasing of this question. How beautiful. So I think this is a good list. So sacrifice. I had to and have to sacrifice self-doubt, negative influences, blockages, job security, insecurity, scarcity mindset, energy drainers, and people pleasing. Those are things I had to sacrifice. Things I was willing to sacrifice encompasses all of that, plus anything that was wasting my time. And that would mean a lot of the time TV. That's hard for a lot of people. Doom scrolling. Where we're just like, lots of content consumption. That's really what it is. It was letting go of content consumption. Content creation replaced that. I don't really look at stuff anymore unless it's something like this that I'm watching and it's like really feeding my soul. If it's not feeding my soul, I do not give it my attention. I don't. It's not worth it. I really don't care what the source is. If it's something that feels as though it is a waste of my time, I have sacrificed that, and I am all the better for it. And it's a good thing to put into practice. So, sacrifice. What else is there? I know one thing you sacrifice. You sacrificed including man in your art for the more space of women. Am I right? No, Nidal, you're not right. I've actually have been embodying more masculine energy in my art. I haven't been creating as much. You're right. I did most recently paint a woman's body, but I have actually been making art with a man as the subject. I just haven't shared it yet. So know that I really did appreciate your challenge. I really, really did. And I am moving forward with it. And I love that you are giving me the reminder, and I appreciate you. And I know that you're messing with me, but I know that you're being serious too. So just know that I have not sacrificed using men as a subject in art. I will continue to do that. And I am excited to share it with you too. So I appreciate you, and you are hilarious for holding me accountable. And I appreciate you holding me accountable. It's so important. So thank you for that. Hi, I'm doing beautifully today. I'm feeling balanced. It's a little bit rainy outside. And there's like nothing I love more than a rainy day in the studio to be able to sort of just be in my space. It's so special to me. So I appreciate you asking. I hope you're having a beautiful day too. And hello, Collecting Light Digital. Welcome. So far we've got a really beautiful list. And thank you for asking how I'm doing, James, as well. I hope you just caught that answer. Because I'm doing really well. Feeling balanced. I'm back in my apartment. I was back home for a little bit visiting my father, so it was nice to see him and go to my hometown and visit, but I'm really happy to be in my space again. Now, back to the list and back to the art of sacrifice. I'm going to read the list one more time since we have some new people who just joined, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the difficulty of letting these things go, but that it's possible. So first, sacrifice. What we have to sacrifice to get to where we want to be versus what we're willing to sacrifice. Hopefully you are willing to sacrifice everything you have to. And if you're not, then acknowledging that is a really good thing, because we're able to get to a point where we are willing to, but it only happens if we start from exactly where we are right now here today. So if I'm missing anything, by the way, please add it in the chat. I had to sacrifice to get to where I am right now, to be able to be sitting here going live with you all right now. Self-doubt, I had to sacrifice it. Negative influences in my life, had to let it go. Blockages, whatever that means to you. Job security, I had to let go of the 9-to-5 to be able to run the creative agency full-time, and it is exciting, and it is my dream, and it's amazing, and I'm just beginning. Insecurity, I had to let go of the things that I thought made me not good enough. I had to let go of scarcity mindset. I had to sacrifice all energy drainers in my life. Hello, 11 Angel of Virtue 11. I had to let go of people pleasing, the belief that I needed to be perfect all of the time. Let it go. Had to let it go. Awesome. Let go of job security. I love that you like that one. Because it's an illusion, right? Job security is an illusion. We don't actually have it. If the pandemic taught us anything, it should be that. Hello, Lisa. I just saw you texted me. I love you too. We're talking about the art of sacrifice. So I was in need of, or I had to sacrifice all of those things. And then on top of that, I was willing to sacrifice anything that was wasting my time. And sometimes it's hard to tell, is this a distraction or is it actually inspiration? And you know the difference. Sometimes the most important thing we can do is really just set boundaries. We don't always have to sacrifice the people themselves in our lives. Sometimes they're there to teach us a lesson of how to be more real with ourselves, how to set boundaries, because boundaries are the ultimate act of compassion. Say it again. Boundaries are the ultimate act of self-compassion. So, sacrifice. This is a little bit of a practice that you can do with yourself if you're feeling a little bit lost, if you're feeling like you're not giving it your all and you know it. What can I do to move forward with what is going to serve me? And a good way to be able to assess that is to really just write it out. To reflect and think, what is it that I have still that is blocking me from where I want to be, where I need to be in order to embody the most fully what I'm called here to do, who I'm called here to be. Letting go is not always easy. Letting go, though, is so cathartic and so freeing. And we definitely are able to do it. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of an extra reminder, a little bit of a push. And it's definitely something that is a practice, like most things. And there's an art to it. Just like art, sacrifice is a practice. And so when I come on my live and I talk about these things, I always focus on the art of something. And today was the art of sacrifice. There's a lot of things that we have to let go. And I think it really first and most truly does start with self-doubt, letting it go, sacrificing that. Because if we don't believe in ourselves, come on, who's going to? I believe in you. I appreciate that you appreciate the live. I'm glad that you tuned in too. There's tons more of it where this came from. And I always live stream on my Instagram as well as my LinkedIn live and my YouTube, my Twitter. And so YouTube is a great place to go to find all of the old live streams, and they're all valuable. They're all important topics, but they are really, really special whenever people like you chime in the chat and give a little bit of extra direction and ask questions. So I appreciate you for doing that. And make sure you check out the YouTube channel. You go to YouTube and you search CDKx, and you will find me. And you should subscribe because I definitely put out a lot of stuff, not just live streams, all kinds of different things. And James, this is absolutely right. Some of the best artists write how they feel. The most successful of my artwork from a perspective of the viewer is the stuff that I have created just transmuting my own energy. And that's something really special. The times where I've really, really tried so hard, what's going to make it look good? What's going to make it sound good? That's whenever people get lost. It's just sort of like, be real. And people really resonate with that. There's a huge amount of freedom that comes to you when you take nothing personally. That's absolutely right. That's an agreement I definitely try to live by. Take nothing personally. Be impeccable with your word. Always do your best. And I always forget one. What's the fourth agreement? Impeccable. Oh, let's just see. 4 agreements. Have you ever read that book? It's a good one. Be impeccable with your word. Always do your best. Don't take anything personally. Ah, yes. Don't make assumptions. That's the 4th one. Yes, Lisa, to subscribe, go to YouTube. This isn't a real accent. Okay, to subscribe, go to YouTube, type in CDKx, press subscribe, and you will see all the cool gems and little juicy tidbits that I put out into the world. And I'm happy to do that because it's fun to show up as who you truly are. Yes, being a poet, my deepest, darkest, funniest thoughts are all written out. And I definitely agree with that, James. All right. That's all I've got for all of you today. I appreciate you. I love you so much for coming. I'm glad that you are going to subscribe, Lisa. I want to talk to you soon. I miss you. And I hope all of you are doing well. Thanks, Jerome, for popping in. I appreciate you. Be well, everybody. I love you. And I'm here for you. So message me if you need to or if you want to. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.